Hello, everybody from Silver Blossom. I asked Sarah to come on and do a little video because those of you who joined us for our team call the other night saw the technical challenges that we experienced, and Sarah's part just was, yeah, it was just interrupted so many times that we're going to do it for you now because quite a few of you have been asking to see it properly. So we're just going to repeat that part of the team call now. So here's my beautiful friend, Sarah. I've known Sarah for about 10 years now. Our children went to preschool together, and she was just one of those people that really stood out to me, and I knew I wanted to get to know. And it just so happened that she had an essential oil need, which made it easy. So I shared the oils with Sarah, and the rest is history. And it's been a wonderful friendship because of who she is, but also because of what she does. So Sarah bakes beautiful, beautiful food. It looks really lovely and it tastes delicious and it's healthy as well. So she's been a professional baker for a while now, and she used to have a pop-up bakery at her house. And now in Devon, she actually provides food for local cafes, really popular cafe. And she's recently produced this most beautiful book here so that we can actually bake her recipes at home. So I asked Sarah to come on to our call because she has been using the oils in her cooking a lot as well. She's been doing that for a while. And it's a great way of introducing the oils to your friends, especially around Christmas time, we thought. So Sarah's going to share a couple of really useful recipes that you can use in some sharing around Christmas time as well. So I'm going to hand it over to Sarah.
Oh, thank you, Bex. Yeah, I'm really happy to be here again. Thank you. So I've been baking for at least 20 years. I started off specialising in desserts and patisserie. I've always gone on the sweet side of things. And it's probably only the last 5 years that I've gone plant-based. I had a really natural upbringing, and so I think that's why I've sort of gone down this route, because I'm really passionate about using natural ingredients, unrefined sugars, and just trying to make it as healthy as possible, if that's at all possible with sweet things. And this year, actually, I've, as well as bringing out my book, which I use a lot of essential oils in, because I think that you can get really amazing flavours with them. I won 2 Great Taste Awards, and that was using the oils as well. One was a spiced chai cake with a lemongrass cream, and the other was my macadamia bars, and I put peppermint in the chocolate. So, yeah, they work. They give great flavour. So yeah, I'm really happy to share some of my recipes with you guys because they're great for Christmas, like Bex said. And I've got my truffle recipe, which is just such a nice gift, but also amazing for classes as well because they're so easy to make, quite indulgent and kind of creamy. There's only 5 ingredients, but you wouldn't know it because they're really special chocolates, and you can flavour them with so many different oils, which I'll go through. And also sharing a spiced chai drink, which is also amazing for classes. I put the cassia and the cardamom oil in, which is lovely. So yeah, lots of ideas. So Bex, do you want to go on to the truffle recipe? So this is my truffle recipe. In the picture there, you can see that I've used cardamom, which goes really nicely with chocolate. I've actually done a little video for you, which Becky's going to show in a bit. But if we just go, if you want to screenshot as we go through it, if you want to go on to the next, Bex. So this is just to show you that you're putting the maple syrup and the cashew butter in one bowl, and the chocolate and the coconut milk in the other. And you're going to put that bowl over a pan of simmering water, and you're going to melt both bowls. And then you've got them both at the same temperature. You do not want to overheat the chocolate, otherwise it starts to separate. And then you're going to mix those 2 together, and they just give a really nice smooth mixture. But again, don't overmix it because that's when the mixture will separate. But I've done a little video just to make it really easy and simple, just to show you how to do it.
Okay, I'm going to share that with you now. Can you just say, where would people get cashew butter from?
I tell you what, so I make my own cashew butter, which you don't have to do, but it is a lot cheaper if you have a Maggi mix a Magimix is better than a Vitamix, you want to put the cashews in the Magimix, and you just keep it running until it turns into a cashew butter. But also there's an amazing website called Real Food Source online, where you can get all these ingredients, and they are the best prices I've found. So that is the best. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I'll play the video.
These are the 2 bowls. So in there I had the chocolate and the coconut milk and a little bit of salt. And in here I had the cashew and the maple syrup. So both of these I put over a pan of simmering water. And you can see the chocolate and the coconuts melted nicely together. And also the cashew and the maple syrup's gone nicely together. And that way it just blends nicely together. And also both ingredients are warm. Both bowls are warm, which means the whole lot is going to mix nicely together. So the chocolate goes into the cashew, or the other way around, whichever way you want to do it. And give it a good scrape out. I've chosen to do peppermint. So in there goes 8 drops. 1, 2. One more. And then just give it a good scrape round. Now it's quite good to use a whisk as well. And I've used a balloon whisk, or I've got one of these. And also you do not want to over mix the chocolate, because then it tends to separate. It doesn't take long to mix all the ingredients together like that. And then this is my tray, a square tray. I'm just going to pour the truffle mix into it. Now it really depends how deep, how thick you want your truffle, as to then what size tin you choose. So you just spread it out. So this can make 40 truffles. So it is perfect. And just give it a little shake. It starts to level out. And then that goes into the fridge. It can set in about 2 hours, but ideally you want to leave it for about 4 to 6 hours.
Okay. Excellent. Can you just, because I always do find, Sarah, and I know you said this, but when I'm making just normal chocolates, that the coconut and the chocolate can separate really easily. I do find that, like, it seems to happen every time mine separates. And you say that's from overcooking?
Overheating and over mixing.
Okay.
Yeah. So you just don't want to fiddle with it too much. Just don't fuss it. Just don't fuss it.
Right, that's what I do. How long do you cook it for then, roughly, for that chocolate and the coconut?
Oh gosh, if you've got it on a full boil, it's only going to take like a couple of minutes before it's nicely melted. Just keep an eye on it, but you don't want to keep stirring it all the time in the pan. No. You'll see that the chocolate will start to melt in the coconut milk, and then you give it a stir, leave it for a bit longer, and give it one more, and that should be done. Okay. But yeah, it's the over mixing and overheating that does it with chocolate.
Okay. Actually, I've just noticed it's coconut milk. I've always done coconut oil, so maybe it's different with coconut milk. Yeah.
Okay. And maybe coconut cream, a lot of people tend to use also, so perhaps milk is slightly easier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
So just treat it carefully. So here's the method, which you've just seen in the video anyway. And you'll also see the oils that I suggest. So the ones I've listed are lime, cardamom, wild orange, geranium, and then the peppermint, which I used. But just experiment and have fun. Those are the drops that I suggest, but you can always taste it as to what, go by your taste as well. And people say that the geranium one is also a bit like Turkish delight. So that might appeal to some. But yeah, all those work really nicely in truffles. And just such a nice gift at Christmas. Just bag them up, and they last really well as well. So moving on to the next.
Sorry, one question. When you've cooked the chocolates and you've finished, do they need to be kept in the fridge though? Will they start melting at room temperature?
I have some here, although I can't see myself. I can only see you.
Okay. Can we see you now?
No, but don't worry.
I'm going to pin you, maybe.
But yeah, you just keep them in an airtight tub. And you also see in the method that I wrote the best way to cut them is get a tall flask with a long sharp knife in it and boiling water in the flask, and you dip your knife in and out of there, wiping it each time before, and then you cut it, and it just cuts the truffles beautifully. And then you cut them into the size you want and toss them in cacao powder, and yeah, pop them in an airtight tub.
Okay, fine. So at room temp, it's fine as long as it's not boiling hot. Cool.
But yeah, it says all that in the method. So yeah. So the next one's a spiced chai drink, and I experimented a bit, and I added the cassia and the cardamom. But do be really, really careful. You can go on to the next one if you want, Bex. Not to overdrop, because the cassia in particular is quite a hot oil, isn't it?
Yes.
And it will overpower it and it will spoil it. But this is just such a nice drink to have, like, you know, when you start a class and you welcome somebody with a drink, and it's just a bit different, isn't it? And I think it's quite a festive drink as well. We're really lucky around here in Devon. We have a local plant milk company, and it's all fresh plant milk, organic, and they do a really beautiful fresh coconut milk. So I tend to use that, but otherwise just use, if you have an almond milk or cashew or oat, will be fine. So yeah, I think that's a really nice one to do. And then as a bonus, I put in my if you go on to the next slide, my spice biscuit recipe. I know they've got Easter bunnies in the picture there, but you could do Christmas trees, stars, make it Christmassy, great for tree decorations, and just great for biscuits in general to have, and also amazing for classes, very easy to make. And you can flavour the chocolate that you put on the biscuit with an oil. Actually, what was the Christmas blend last year? It was like a spice mix.
Yeah, it was like holiday mix, probably.
It was a baking oil. It was a baking spice mix. Really delicious, like clove and cardamom. That was delicious in the chocolate.
So you couldn't replace the cinnamon in this with cinnamon, the essential oil. I haven't tried that, or the ginger. Could you do that?
No, because in the dough you do put in quite a lot.
Okay.
I'll be honest, I haven't experimented just using oils because of the amount of spice that you put in.
Okay.
So yeah, I just use it in the chocolate.
Fine. Great. Yeah. Cool.
And
really... sorry. Yeah.
So yeah, this is and also this is a really nice gift one. So truffles and gingerbread biscuits. Really lovely. And then the last slide, I've just given you some other ideas really for using oils in food. I love making dal. It's a weekly menu on the weekly menu. And I often don't have fresh coriander. So the coriander oil is amazing to use, and the cilantro. So the cilantro is from the leaf and the coriander is from the seed. But they're really delicious, and you just drop it in. I always find that you need to drop the oils in at the end of cooking, because I feel that the cooking of the oil will spoil it and you sort of lose the flavour. So I do put it in the end. And I like to put cardamom oil in the rice when I'm cooking it. That's really delicious. And then the new oil, vanilla, so delicious if you just add it to plain yogurt. You don't have any added sugar. You know, if you buy vanilla yogurt from the shops, it can be quite sweet. So I just found that's really delicious. And you just get to taste the oil then as well. And then back to savoury, for classes, if you want to do a really simple lunch, you could maybe do some soup. And if you flavour an olive oil with an oil, so you could put thyme in olive oil, you could put pink pepper, black pepper, you could do coriander, depending on what flavour soup you're doing, is a really nice sort of topping for a soup. And another way, you could flavour butter. So if you had some bread with your soup, you could maybe flavour your butter. with an essential oil also. And come summer, using essential oils in a salad dressing is really nice. I really like using thyme.
Great suggestion. So with the olive oil on the soup, you just drizzle it literally on top. So you've blended it together with the oil, the essential oil, then you just drizzle it on top of the soup. Is that what you mean? Okay.
Are you there?
Yeah.
I lost you.
Like a second. Good, you're back. I was just asking, so with the soup, you just drizzle the olive oil on top, which is blended with the essential.
Yeah, so you put it into a bowl.
Yeah.
You dished up your soup, and then you've mixed your essential oil in your olive oil beforehand in a little jar or something. You just drizzle it on the top.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And actually, one thing I did, which was really lovely, was I toasted some pumpkin and sunflower seeds, toasted them in the oven, and at the end, I added an essential oil and just sort of tossed it in, and that was really nice. So then that's nice to top a soup as well.
Yeah, I've had that from you. That's really lovely. It just adds a bit more special, like, effort, doesn't it? It makes it feel a bit easy to do. Okay, that is amazing. And thank you so much, Sarah, for coming on and sharing all that with us. There's so much useful practical tips to take away. So that's been brilliant. And I know lots of people are... Sorry, Sarah, go on.
Right, if anyone has questions, they're so welcome. My website's on that last slide, but I think Becky might put it up. You're so welcome to ask me questions, because yeah, I'm happy to talk about food, baking.
yes, very good at food. Cool. Yeah, I will. I'll put the website up, because also people are also asking about the book, and they can also get that from the website too.
Yeah, there's a great Christmas offer at the minute as well.
Yeah, hi Sophia. Yeah, okay, cool. There's a great Christmas offer. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I've got free postage, and then an offer of, if you buy more than 2 books or more, then you get £5 off each book. An amazing wild orange, 15ml wild orange that comes free as well.
Cool. Okay. Oh, that's a lovely.
So, yeah. I'm trying to encourage early Christmas shopping, so I don't have to panic about posting books in December.
Very smart. Because who knows what happened with the post. Well, that's very good thinking. Cool. Okay, so we'll end it there. Thank you so much. Everyone will love this, so thank you. Right.
All right, bye.
Well done.